Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Let's Learn Japanese. Hopefully this one will not have to be in parts. It may be. I got rid of a whole lot of extra crap on my phone, so we should be able to do this all in one go. Here's to hoping. Alright. So last time, on the previous episode, we read just the title and the first sentence. Talked about how when he lived in Europe for those 30 years, martial arts really was the proof of his identity. Very epic. We ran into a couple of words, we ran into a couple of grammatical phrases like the te kita verb ending, and you're going to hear that one again. He uses that verb form a lot. And, well, lots of Japanese people use that verb form quite a lot anyway. So it's good to learn. You'll hear it a lot, you will get a lot of opportunities to use it yourself. You'll really sound like a native if you can get the hang of it. Alright, that said, let's crack into today's sentences. We're just going to do 2 again, but wow, there's a lot to talk about in these 2 sentences. The first one fairly short, the second one really long, really complicated. Alright, here we go. So I'll read them out first, and then we will break them down piece by piece. 日本の武道の骨格になるのは何かという一生懸命に考えてきた。その産物として武道は人間の身体と精神を鍛える上で極めて優れたメソッドであり、それは文化の違いを超えて活用できるという論理を乱せたと思う。Okay, so the first sentence. 日本の武道の骨格になるのは何かという一生懸命に考えてきた。So once again, there's that てきた verb form that we ran into last time. So he's emphasizing that it took time for him to do this. 考える is to think, or to think of, or to think up something. And that's the case, that's the meaning that is being used here. Let's see. So the first one, Nihon, Japan, Budo, martial arts, kokkaku. That's the first one that I ran into that I had to look up. I will draw it for you here. The first one means bone. It's used in a lot of words to do with the human bones, the human body. But it can also be used to talk about things like skeletons and whatnot. And in this case, okay, here it is. Kokkaku. My chicken scratch writing. It means skeleton. It can mean like literal skeleton, but it can also mean build, frame, physique, or framework. So in this case, because we're talking about martial arts, he says, 日本の武道の骨格になるのは. So, 日本の武道, Japanese martial arts, no 骨格. Obviously, he can't mean a skeleton in a literal sense. So in this case, it makes sense to translate it as a framework of, or framework for, Japanese martial arts. 日本の武道の骨格になるのは. So in order to create, in order to make a framework for Japanese martial arts. Now why did I translate it as になるのは? So why did I say in order to make, in order to? That's because, okay, so に something, になる. So usually when you have a noun or an adjective and then になる, as in like something becomes something else. So like sensei ni naru, become a teacher, for example. That's the basic form, the basic usage of something ni naru. However, if you learn enough Japanese, you will discover that naru is used in a lot of situations where we as English speakers would say make or become or come to be or something like that. You can get a little bit creative with your interpretation and understanding of the verb naru. And then when you have no wa after a verb, any verb that you put no wa after the end of, you can translate that as in order to whatever. So, 日本語が上手になるのは勉強するのが必要です。In order to become good at Japanese, it's necessary to study. 上手になるのは in order to become good, da 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 da. Whenever you put no wa at the end of a verb, it's in order to do this, whatever the verb was before. Okay, so 日本の武道の骨格になるのは in order to create a framework for Japanese martial arts. 何かというを一生懸命に考えてきた. Okay, this word, 一生懸命. It's a good word to learn. You will hear this word a lot, and you will have a lot of opportunities to use it. And it's really complicated to write. It takes time, as you can see. 一生懸命に一生懸命に Okay, so one, life. This one means to hang. You will not see this one by itself very often. It's a lot more likely that you'll see it in this word or not at all. Or you'll see a different character. By itself, that word means hang, to hang something, kakeru. But usually they'll just write it with hiragana. You won't see that character very often. And then the last one, like order or command, also can be used for like in the word for life. But all together, these four characters, when you put them together, 一生懸命に, that makes it an adverb. So after that, you would put a verb, 一生懸命に勉強する. So that example would be to study with everything you got. Basically, 一生懸命に, you can think of it as to go all out, to work very hard at doing something. 一生懸命に走りました. I ran with all of my strength, or whatever. It's an adverb that you can use and give everything you got to doing something. Don't think about the individual characters and why this character and that character put it together. Just remember it as a single word. It's a lot easier that way. Don't bother burdening yourself with extra work if you don't have to. 一生懸命に何々する. Very useful. I use it a lot. You'll hear it a lot. Good word to know. 一生懸命に考えてきた. 考える to think. So basically he's saying 日本の武道の骨格になるのは何かというを一生懸命に考えてきた. I did my very best. I gave my all to come up with, to think of a framework for what Japanese martial arts is. Basically is what he's saying there. And again, if you have a better idea of how to translate that, let me know. I'm welcome to feedback. I welcome feedback. Wow, really cool. Japanese is going up, English is going down. Fantastic. Moving on. Okay, I'll read the whole sentence and then we'll get into it. その産物として武道は人間の身体と精神を鍛える上で極めて優れたメソッドであり、それは文化の違いを超えて活用できるという論理を見出せたと思う. Really long sentence, really complicated. Let's get into it. Okay. その産物. This word, I had to look it up. I'd never seen it before I read this part of the book. And the interesting thing here is when you learn enough kanji, For those of you who may be feeling a little bit discouraged, feeling like, oh my god, is it ever going to get any easier? Yes, it will. When you learn enough kanji, you start to get a sense of how these characters are usually read. When this character appears first, it's usually pronounced like this, and this character appears second in the word, it's usually pronounced like this. You start to get a sense of how to sound out words. And 9 times out of 10, you're right. So this word, sanbutsu, for example, I had never seen it before, but I had seen this character before, and I had seen this character before in other words or by themselves, and I knew that, okay, well, this one is usually pronounced san, and this one, when it comes second in a word, like dobutsu, is usually pronounced butsu. So I just guessed sanbutsu, and then I looked it up, and I was right. Once you learn enough, once you get a critical mass of vocabulary in your head, you will sort of develop an ability to take an educated guess, and you'll be right 9 times out of 10. You still don't know what it means, but you're a heck of a lot closer to finding out because you know how to pronounce it, and which means you know how to look it up very quickly. So it's not that you instantly know what it means, but you can find out a lot faster because you already know how to pronounce it. You don't have to guess. You don't have to draw the characters or search by radical or anything. So there is hope for those of you who may be feeling a bit discouraged. Keep going. It does get easier. Okay, so sanbutsu means product or fruit, as in like fruits of your labor or something like that. The good thing about this is that it's just like English, where you can use it in a physical, literal, concrete sense, like coffee is the main product of Brazil or something like that. That was the example in the dictionary. Or you can use it as a abstract kind of noun, like this exhibition is the product of his work. Maybe it's a physical thing, maybe not, but it's the result of, the product of doing something. So it's just like English. Yay! Something that's similar to English. Sanbutsu toshite. Okay, so that's the other thing. When you have a noun, toshite. Toshite. As a whatever that is. So you could say like, keisatsukan toshite. As a police officer, I should do this, or I think blah blah blah. Sensei toshite. As a teacher, I think blah 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 blah. Or it could be a thing, not necessarily a person. As in this case, sanbutsu toshite. As a product of that, sono sanbutsu toshite. Budou wa ningen no shintai, we ran into that word before, shintai, body, to seishin o kitaeru uede. Okay, seishin. You may have heard this word before, maybe not. I don't remember running into it very early on in studying Japanese. I had to look it up myself because I wanted to say it. Seishin. Seishin. You'll notice this one, kami, like God or deity. This one's spirit, or this has some interesting meanings. Be careful. One of the meanings of this character is semen, so be careful how you use that one. But seishin means, so when these characters are together, mind, soul, heart, spirit, intention. So in this case, budou wa ningen. Ningen means human. I'll draw that one out for you. With my chicken scratch writing. Ningen, human. Ningen no shintai to seishin o kitaeru uede. Okay. So the human body and mind, and then kitaeru. This is a verb that you probably won't hear it too often. You'll hear it a lot if you study martial arts. If you're living in Japan and you study martial arts, definitely you'll hear people say this word. It refers to training, and this could be kitaeru. This could be training for sports, or for the military, or for martial arts, or just for health, or whatever. People use this when they're talking about doing a lot of physical exercise, running, stretching, weightlifting, all that good stuff. It can be translated as forging, or to forge, to temper, like forging a sword. To drill, to train, to discipline. In the martial arts world, there's a lot of discourse around this sort of thing, making a metaphor of, like, we, the martial artists, are like swords on the forge, and the training, the classes, is like the blacksmith's hammer, repeatedly hammering us and getting rid of all the imperfections and dull spots until we're strong and sharp and we can cut through life, I guess. It's a very common mentality in the martial arts world, and so anything talking about martial arts, you'll see this. So he's saying, 武道は人間の身体と精神を鍛える上で So strengthening the human body and mind, forging the human body and mind, tempering the human body and mind, 上で So the character for up, 上 You don't need that, actually. You can just write it like that as well. 上で Whenever you see 上で at the end of a sentence, of a clause, 上で translates to from the viewpoint of, or according to, or as far as something is concerned. So from the viewpoint of strengthening, forging, tempering the human body and mind, 極めて優れたメソッドであり. Okay. So this one, 極める. You don't hear this one too often. Oh, that's terrible. 極める. 極める. My chicken scratch writing. 極める means to carry to extremes, to go to the end of something, to investigate thoroughly, to master. So that's probably the sense that is being used in this particular context. But it's not just 極める. It's 極めて and then 優れた. This sounds like a past tense, casual. Oof. I'll try and draw this better for you. Past tense casual verb. 優れた. It is the casual past tense of